guess we're gonna do another one just to show you guys.
Got way too busy to record anything. Had to go like basically run and get more hardware. See, the car's now on the floor and all four wheels off the wood. And this thing looks crazy. Right now the frame is a little sunk because it has no brake rotors at all. So with the rotors gonna push it out a little bit, but other than that, 3-piece literally dialed in the fitment in this car crazy. And with the BC coils, this thing's like sitting perfectly. Since your car got crashed, I've been trying to surprise you with a new car so you can go out driving again. Now that you're big time, I got you a big time car. You ready to see it? So there's Daddy, and this is Junior right here. So right now, sitting pretty good. Right where mostly likely I'm gonna have it at. It's gotta get side skirts and headlight covers. Paint the hood, paint the headlight covers, get a lid for it, and other than that, I mean, it's a cool street car, right, Mike? Right? You missed the wheels already?
Yeah, Indian giver.
Mike right now has my XC7s and Regas, but he's complaining that I took these away from him. You don't even know what you have. Huge progress. The car's literally been sitting on casters for like 6 months, so I'm stoked to see it finally on the ground. So I can actually get a picture of how the car's gonna look and how it's gonna look sideways. So when Mike is good enough, I'll let him drift this car too. So you'll drive this one, I'll drive the yellow one. Just don't break my shit.
I'll practice with the other FC.
Yeah, and then we'll
Have
do.
we shown that one yet?
Nah, not yet.
Okay.
And then we'll do tandem FD drifts. So me and Mike been basically trading parts on and off. I'm not building an FC again, so I've just been giving him everything that I have for the SE. And he's just been giving me back cool stuff for FD. That's why I was able to have the car put together on the ground. And another one of those cool parts were his projector headlights. Just gonna bolt these on, steal his covers real quick just for a picture, and then order myself some covers so I can have basically the front end almost together. I want to change the bumper. The original bumper is cool, but I want something more aggressive, and I want to change the mirrors. Right now, shipping from Japan is crazy, so I can't even touch it. The parts are not expensive, it's just the shipping is way too much. So I'm gonna have to wait a little bit to figure out what I want to do with the car as far as like the body kit that I want to put on it. We're not gonna be something simple I can drive the car around with and not really destroy it. And then we might get something crazy like the yellow car on this car later on. So like I said, I managed to save most of the parts that are actually good for the car, and I was hoping they're gonna be transferred to the new chassis. And literally, it fits better than I could imagine. So, new car, same old heart. So, engine is different, but the VMA, turbo kit, all that shit fits into this car really nicely. Now we don't have all that downtime in fabrication because basically everything fits all the way down to the downpipe. You happy? Are you stoked, Mochi? I think for now this is all I'm gonna be able to do to the car. Got stuff to wait in the dash. I had to rebuild the transmission. Find a computer for it because the car has no chassis wires, so I have to find a computer and a PDM for it, and then build an engine. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna record it. We'll see, but I just want to get this car done really fast and just start driving again because me and Mochi miss driving a lot. Kind of late again at the shop. Just got done working on people's cars, so now I get to mess with my car a little bit. And I ended up finding out that the turbo manifold off the black FC does not work with the FD, unfortunately. I was gonna cut it a little bit and make it fit. Well, the problem is down in here. So now that it's right-hand drive, the steering column was not gonna clear the wastegates. So I had to put the turbo manifold and turbo out of the version. So this one fits nicer. I'm probably gonna run into issues right here. I saw that Chase Base made a little master cylinder right here, so I might be able to just put that on and just be safe with it. I mean, it's not a G series turbo, but it's a GTX 3584 Gen 2, so it should be really responsive still. So this is on this car now. You just have to basically fab up the intercooler by making it match. And then the first shin now has the GT40 that used to be in the FC. So the manifold out of the FC, the downpipe fits perfectly. It's weird. About to cut this, it makes something happen here now. So this might be faster than that now. We'll see. So another thing I'm gonna do too, that's what the car's in the air, is the PBM angle kit is coming out of the first gen. I'm gonna put the angle kit out of the FC just because I don't need that much track weight on this car. This makes it basically stand out super far out. So I can't fit the fenders anymore because of how basically how wide the front is. So I'm gonna put the old kit on it that out of the FC, probably sell this to Mike, and I'm taking the BCs out of it and putting the ones out of the FC that have Swiss springs, and probably sell these to Mike too. The FD's pulling out of money right now, so I'm gonna have to sacrifice all the cool FC parts I was gonna save and just let Mike have it for his drift car. Tomorrow, tomorrow after work, I'm probably just gonna mess with the firewall. I gotta cut the holes, put the steering column through it, mount the pedals and everything, and then so I can get an idea of how the exhaust is gonna fit. The water neck I had actually fits now because the turbo is so far back, and I ended up raising the intercooler a little bit, so it makes the piping easier. So I cut this off, and if I angle it like this, it's basically a straight shot to the intercooler. So I'm just gonna weld that now, and then come back tomorrow and just mess with it a little more. Bam, way better than what I was welding before. Alright, so got that done now, and it's time to go home. It's kind of weird, but it's gonna fit really good in the car. Ready to go home? Just got done working on that thing, so it's back to the FD. One big change I did off camera is I changed the engine mount. So down there you can see I put the full function mounts, which let me drop the engine basically a 1/4 inch lower, and now you can kind of see it fits right perfectly in there. Does not hit the hood anymore. I do have those spacers holding the engine up from the front because basically I was tilting forward because it has no transmission, but that's where basically where it's gonna sit at. The issue I had now is that I'm trying to make it like this car, and if you can see the elbow, I modified a Cosmo elbow to V-vane clamp just so I don't have to basically run a 90 out of there. It's mostly cosmetics because the way I had it before worked. I held 20 pounds, but I just don't want to run a hard 90 out of this. So I'm just gonna put this to the side for now, and I'm gonna chop up another one of my Cosmos. That way it fits better on here. Looks cleaner and it fits better. The only issue is that for some reason the Cosmos, I think the way it was made, they kind of run high, super high. So I'm just gonna cut it about right here to put the clamp on it, but I'm also gonna cut it at the flange and tilt it down so the piping is not literally super high up there. It's already cut, way shorter. I cut it right where it goes from 3 to basically to like 2, and then 3 to 2 3/4 and 2.5. So this is where it's gonna be at, but you can see it's still kind of up there. So I'm just gonna chop it and then just turning it so slightly down so that basically the pipe's gonna be down here now instead of that high up. Here's the original flange. Already cut it, cleaned it out pretty good, cleaned this out pretty good. Got most of the nasty metal in there. So as you can see, that's how it goes, right? And what we're gonna do is just angle it like that, so it basically points the intake down. Just gotta fill that in right there, port it. Still have plenty of space to put the bolt in this side, and on the other side, just gonna mark it, tack it, and then see what else I can get done. The goal today is to go to the firewall for the racks. I'm just gonna stop at this to basically just tack this up, and then take the manifold out on the other side and start basically drilling the firewall so I can pass the booster and everything through. Got a little carried away, ended up just welding everything. Weld came out kind of decent, not too bad, but that looks way better than this. So now I'm just gonna stop there and make some holes. I'm gonna run an FD. Alright, so the plan is to sort of fit this in there. I'm not gonna run this. I just literally just saw that Chase Bays made a boosterless setup, which I'm gonna need for like I have extra cleaners on it. So I'm just gonna use it now just to mount it up. And I also have over here just basically all the parts with FD, but in this box. So the reason why I went right-hand drive is literally because the parts are so cheap right now. I was able to get the brake pedal, I think. And this is, yeah, so this is the clutch pedal. So I got the clutch pedal, the brake pedal, and the gas pedal, literally for $250 shipped from Japan. And literally everyone wanted $1,000 for left-hand drive pedals, and I think $1,500 for the dash. So under $1,000, I basically bought a whole right-hand drive swap for this car. Just gonna put it on, mark it, and make some holes now. Basically, the clutch master and the brake booster have these little gaskets, like a little foam gasket. So I was able to use that as a basic stencil where I need to cut the holes at. Grab the old trusty hole saw and make shit fit. Big problem now, tour manifold definitely doesn't fit anymore. So I am gonna have to basically get in line for that Chase Bates booster delete. Without that, I can't keep doing anything as far as like the exhaust or the intercooler on this side of the wastegate. Just got to make sure it's gonna clear that, if not to make a new manifold, which I don't want to do. So for now, we're gonna stop. Basically, this side's gonna be stopped. I'm gonna keep going on that side and probably the interior. But I'm not sure. Maybe since we have to wait on that, I might send the car to get caged. The car needs to get caged. I just gotta basically find empty seat rails, put a seat I'm liking it, and just send it out to get the cage done. So we'll see. And right now, basically, we're at a standstill. We're waiting on parts. I get rid of the car, so I might just jump back to the first gen for now and get the first gen running, because it already turns on. I just gotta finish the exhaust, radiator, and oil coolers, so I can drive that car around while this one's getting done. So I'm just gonna test fit the dash a little bit more, see if I can throw the pedals in there, and that's about it. That's all I can do for this car until I get that booster delete pretty much. But we officially have a right-hand drive FD now. Here, let me actually show you the cuts so you can see they're actually pretty clean. You see, that's the one with the clutch cylinder. You see on the other side, they're the same thing, probably nicer. And that's the one for the brake cylinder. Same thing, super nice, cut out perfectly. Not bad for my first try. Could also just make a plug here so I can weld this shut. I don't want to see those holes. And I have to make one for here, for here, for here, and for the throttle cable. And make something nicer down there to cover all that shit up so it doesn't look that bad. So I forgot I have to make the big hole, the scary one. So I have to make a hole like that, somewhere here where all the shit already open, and not make it look too janky. Look at Mike hating. Look at Mike hating on my right-hand drive FD.
Only idiots swap cars.
I'm pretty sure your right-hand drive car is swapped too. I was trying to get Mike to help me basically figure out how to do the swap, so I wouldn't fuck it up. And Mike basically just told me to go fuck myself and draw circles. And lucky, I did it good. Not bad, right?
Yeah, that's easy. These cars are already pre-stamped from the factory, so at the factory they drill out the holes that they need for left or right-hand drive, so it's not hard.
So there it is. Look, even the steering comes through already. I mean, that's all we're doing for now, and we'll see when we get new parts to keep working on this car.